Welcome to Inside the Skev, and I'm your host, Aaron Masliansky. Today we are meeting with many people from Girls Playing Sports, GPS. GPS is a nonprofit organization in Evanston dedicated to fostering leadership skills and confidence in girls through participation in a variety of sports. The program engages girls grades 3 through 8 in multiple sports without a long-term or expensive commitment, and they engage girls in meaningful conversations about current topics that affect young women today. And I'm so excited to have people here from the executive, people from the board here, people who founded the organization, the coaches, and even my daughter, Sophia, who's going to talk a little bit about her experience here. But, just to start, so everybody here knows a little bit about the background of it, Liz, Brieva, I think that you'd probably be the appropriate person to answer this. How did it start? And what's the background?
I can't remember what year it was, but Chris Levatino and I had worked on bringing sports back to the middle schools when there weren't sports in District 65 middle schools. And after we worked on that project, he said, hey, would you want to work on another project, because there's a real discrepancy between boys playing sports compared to how many girls are playing sports at ETHS. So we started talking, and we came up with this plan to teach multiple sports to the kids throughout the year. And then his wife, Megan, joined us, and then we just put together this plan of teaching 16 different sports, 2 sports each month, talking about different topics that impact young people today, and that's how it happened.
And where do these where does the program take place?
At ETHS, Evanston Township High School.
And so some of these, so it's throughout the entire year, right? And do you also have summer programs and things like that?
Yes, so we have a summer camp that we run for 1 week, pretty much right after the District 65 gets out of school. And we teach 16 different sports during that week. And then what we did last year is we built off that program, and we focused on 2 more sports, water polo and lacrosse. And we did 2 mini clinics during the morning for 4 days, so that so the participants could get more training in those sports.
Yeah. How did you deal with keeping this program going during the pandemic?
Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you asked that question, because our coaches here helped us run programs in the parks during the pandemic. So what we did was we ended up kind of spreading out into the community, and we hit like 6 different parks: James Park, Cayman, Twigs, Talmadge, Bent, just a bunch of different parks. And then especially at the beginning of the pandemic, we had a limit of 10 participants and 2 coaches, so that it wouldn't be too many people together, and wearing masks and still teaching multiple sports. So we would just rotate the equipment from park to park and just have fun with the kids.
Must have kept you on your toes, huh?
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's fun.
And part of the success of the program is the coaches, and the coaches are high schoolers at ETHS, right?
Yes, 100%. The success of the program is because of the coaches, because the young girls really look up to and really connect with the high school girls, and they are really strong leaders and are passionate people who you'll find out in about a few minutes. So,
just want to take a quick break to remind everybody that this is episode 123. I've spoken to so many people in Skokie and Evanston, so many thought leaders that are just so amazing. And you can go back and listen to all these on any podcast player, or go to skevinson.com and you'll see everything. It's an amazing network. And in addition to that, and one of the reasons why I do this show is to connect with the community and to remind everyone that I'm a realtor here at Dreamtown Realty in Evanston. And I have helped so many people, and many of those who have been on the show, and maybe you, to help buy or sell a home here in Skokie and Evanston or beyond. So if you need somebody, if you have any questions, I can probably answer them. You can reach me at aaron@skevinson.com or call me at 847-440-4421. And on the skevinson.com website, there's a ton of information on real estate there. So check that out. Okay, paid the bills, back to the show. What does it take to be a coach? So we have two of the coaches here, Olivia Ohlson, and we have Margaret Adams. And I just want to know what inspired each of you to do this, and what's it been like as your experience being a coach?
So my experience being a coach, it's so lovely to work with all the younger students. And I started girls play sports when I was really young, maybe third grade. No, wait, fourth grade. It starts in fourth grade. I don't know. But I just saw how the program affected me and wanted to continue that, put that forward in the future. And so that's why I decided to be a coach, because I've been so connected with Miss Brieva since I was little. So
I'll get the tissue box.
Yeah, my experience is similar to Margaret's. I started with girls play sports in elementary school as well. I'm younger than her, so I don't have as much experience being a coach, because during COVID, when COVID started, I was still a participant age, which is scary to think about, it's been so long. But Miss Brieva coached me as well. She was a middle school coach of mine, and I think we all know what it is to be female athletes. And I would say that one of the main reasons I wanted to get involved with GPS is not only my own experience, but that playing on teams and living in a world where girls are so often compared to boys in sports and given are put down more. It's so nice to be in an environment where it's just constantly women lifting up women, and young girls have true role models who are playing sports at the high school level, and they have something they can aspire to do.
I think that's great. I mean, and are there different leadership skills that you're taught as being part of this program, or is it something that just comes naturally to both of you?
So leadership does come naturally to me, but I think it also is a learning experience with the program, because you get to understand how these young girls think and act, and it really develops you as a person, being able to interact with them on deeper levels.
Actually, before girls play sports, I was involved in other leadership clubs and boards, but I think Margaret and I are both involved in other things within the school. We try to bring leadership to any space that we're in, whether or not we hold a leadership position. But I think that working in training younger girls and being a coach, it really helps you gain confidence, which you can use to be a leader in any space that you're in. So
I think that's kind of it's part of the reason for this in the first place. And you want to say something?
I was just gonna say sorry, can you ask the question?
So you had been doing sports, right? But what has it also led you to other types of leadership roles within the school or other types of programs that you're a part of?
So yeah, obviously my involvement with Girls Play Sports has led to the youth board that we're on right now, and that it has a lot of leadership skills that we can learn within the program. And we just did our workshop for middle school. I think it's our empowerment and self-love workshop, but it was for 6th to 8th graders, or okay, yeah, it was for middle schoolers, and we worked on developing ideas of self-love and empowerment, and really lifting themselves up, and different ways to do that through cooking, or think tank, which was about stuff they can create on their own. Yeah, problem solving, stuff like that. So.
Yeah, I mean, and just, from the background of this, does anyone else do this in the area, or does the school provide this type of coaching where it's girls and, helping girls that you all have seen from the leadership, or, Tosha, have you seen it more so, or Liz?
I wouldn't say specifically girls, just helping girls like how Girls Play Sports does it, but I'm a FAM coach, and I coach middle school girls in FAM, and that's the Fellowship of African American Men, where I also played back in the 80s/90s. And so after 50 plus years, trying to find a space for girls basketball in that program has been back and forth. The girls used to play with the boys because there weren't enough girls. Then they built a strong girls system within FAM, and then COVID hit, and now it's struggle. We're really struggling to find girls to play FAM basketball. And so we've, going back and forth with Feeder and FAM, just trying to build programs back for young girls, because as Olivia said, this is about confidence building. And you realize, especially in that niche of 5th through 8th grade, basketball in particular is a very hard sport because it's complicated, and it's one thing when a boy misses a layup in a game, and his friends are like, you missed the layup. It's no big deal.
I've done that a few times.
Yeah, but it becomes like heartbreaking for a girl, and you just have to build that confidence that everything is good. And so I wouldn't say specifically the way this program does, but there are, programs that do make attempts, but not like this one.
Yeah, and Tosha, for those listening, Tosha Wilson, you're on the board. You also work for the police department. You're involved in a lot of different things throughout the Evanston community, so you have a really high level view of what's going on throughout the community. I mean, have you seen models of examples of success because of girls playing sports that you think has led to more leadership, a better community? Especially being at the police department, maybe a reduction even in crime or a more healthier home life for people?
I think overall sports always gives like a health benefit. Just when you build confidence, you just build so much about yourself. I grew up in Evanston, 5th generation. I'm very proud to say that. And just watching how the town has changed a bit. We went from a close-knit community to kind of city-like in a way. Yeah. And I believe Girls Play Sports and programs like this bring us together more in ways that a lot of programs aren't doing anymore. So I love the fact that, like Liz Brieva, I meet her at one meeting 10 years ago about something tragic, actually, and then it goes on to us being in different spaces for the next decade. So Girls Play Sports has been a very integral part of that. And but there are a lot of loopholes that we need to fix, I would say, and this is one of those things that does it.
You said, go ahead, Liz.
Well, I was just going to add that there are two programs that come to mind, and one is Miss Joanne's program.
Absolutely.
At Foster Center,
Family Focus.
Absolutely. And then Digital Divas, which is running out of Robert Crown. And Nicole Pinkard is a professor at Northwestern, and she runs and has run Digital Divas for years. And they have brought in so many different programs to Robert Crown this year, and are really focusing on middle school students, boys and girls. Nicole herself, she does a lot of the types of things that we do, and has the same focus.
And she's a new FAM coach, by the way.
Oh, that's good stuff. That's good stuff.
That is. And you said, Tosha, you met Liz at a tragic event. What happened, and did that lead to your involvement here in the first place?
Yes, a younger cousin of mine, Daje Coleman, they call him Day. He was tragically murdered at church in Florence about a decade ago, and the community came together to speak to one another over at Foster Community Center, well, also known as Fleetwood Jourdain. You could tell I've been here a long time because I'm calling it Foster, but the community came together, and I remember saying something, and I met Liz that night, and from that point on, she's helped me with so much with talent shows at Family Focus, raising money for summer camps. You know, Girls Play Sports, we're on two different ends of the spectrum, but trying to change things in the community. So it was a tragic event that led to many other things that were positive.
That's the best you can hope for.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. But I think that this is such an important program. All these programs are important to be able to boost confidence for people to, build the community, do these types of things, and give women a good sense of self. And it's good to be able to start at a young age. And, for me, my connection to this is that Sophia here, my daughter, is a member of the program, has been doing several of the different, signed up for several of the sessions. And it's been so wonderful to see her having a good time and running and doing everything that she needs, that's, just having a great time there. So Sophia, tell us a little bit about it. What are some of the sports that you've done through the Girls Playing Sports program?
So one of the first sports that we've done was volleyball and basketball, and that was a really fun experience for me because with the coaches, we were learning some really good skills, and it could help me for when I become older and I want to do things like that. I could be a coach in many years, and not many years, but soon.
A long way off. No, it's not that long. Yeah.
And it would just be a really good experience right now. So.
And had you played some of these sports before, or was this some of the first times that you've had the opportunity to try out some of these sports?
So I did this month. We're doing soccer, and I did soccer when I was younger. But for many of these sports, it was the first time for me. And it was I think it's really good that I learned some of these skills.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, I think, some people may say, well, we have gym or we have different sports that you can sign up for. Why do you need it? But I mean, how long is it that you go for on Sunday afternoons?
It's 2 hours, and gym at school is only 20 minutes a day. So it's really good extra activity.
I agree. And, I think that we look at what we've gone through, a health pandemic and everything, and it's been a hard time for people to be able to maintain their health or exercise or do things, especially at the beginning. You weren't allowed to really go outside and do things. And I think the ability to have this program, to be able to go and play sports and be active is a really good lesson for children growing up, and you take that habit with you for your life. I mean, is that something I've seen where you're really enjoying it? And I mean, you did you're running the other day and you did pretty well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you've done some 5Ks. So I mean, it's amazing just to see how it could be kind of intimidating to do a 5K or to be doing some of these competitions. But I think it's in a lot of ways because of this program that you've gained the confidence to participate in many different avenues.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, I mean, in terms of is that part of the coaching? I mean, for you guys, for coaching and getting the participants to be excited to do it, I mean, do you ever find where it's somebody's there and they don't really seem sure of themselves? I mean, how do you get them motivated to participate and then see them flourish?
Sure. I think almost every person, or at least kid, has had a time where their parents signed them up for something that they didn't really want to go to. Mm-hmm. I know I have, and I think that happens there's usually at least one kid where that's happened to them.
Yeah.
But we just have to be as encouraging and motivating as possible. And if you're in like a space where like it's recurring, like you were saying, your daughter goes every Sunday. Like if you're being consistent, the kids tend to like find at least something about the sport that they like. Like maybe they don't really cling to basketball, but they like the running, or they like the teamwork, or they like the communication that you have to play the game. There's usually something that every person can cling to in a sport that will make them enjoy the experience, regardless of what sport it is.
Yeah.
I also find that a lot of them show up like so willing to learn, and even if they're not completely engaged in the sport, they still find the time to like really open up and go out of their shell in order to like discover something new. Like when I was in girls play sports when I was younger, I had no idea what lacrosse was, and I show up and they have these like big sticks with nets on them. I'm like, what is that? And we started playing, and it wasn't my favorite sport, but it still like made me so happy that I learned something new. And I think that's also like what girls play sports is about. It's like teaching young girls that there's going to be stuff out there that you won't know about, but you can still find fun in it. So
Yeah, and you're in a safe space, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Where you can try it out and you can fail, and that's okay because you're just experimenting, learning, and I think that's one of the great things about having many different sports, where you can just try them all out, and you're not going to be an expert at all, but like you're just having fun, right, Sophia? I mean, is that some of these things you've never played before, and it was your first time,
Like
right?
I was like clueless, and then when we like started, I was like, oh, this is okay. I could do this.
Yeah. And even like basketball, I mean, you played before, and like I know you did some different tournaments with some of your friends, but like you're planning to do it again, like at school now. You're planning to do the girls basketball team, right?
Yeah, and I think from girls play sports, when we first tried it, I had a little experience, but I still wanted to find out more about it. And when we did it, I kind of like trained more, and that definitely helped me a lot. So
Yeah, I think that's excellent. And I think for some, thinking about this, some of these programs that you do, and I think this is more for Liz, but some of these programs are huge commitments in terms of time. My son plays soccer right now. I mean, my God, there's practice and games all the time. I don't know how people do it. But so that could be intimidating for a parent to sign up. Also, it could be very expensive for some of these programs to sign up. What's the cost structure for this program, and what is the time commitment that people have?
Scholarships are always available for every single program that we have. So depending on what your family needs are, I believe the Team GPS program, which is the Sunday program, is $90 for 3 weeks.
Okay.
So that's 3 2-hour sessions. But again, scholarships are always available, full scholarships. Our goal is to get kids in the gym, and so there's just never a barrier to play. Just speaking of the time commitment for club sports, the money commitment, it is just outlandish. Actually, both of our coaches, Olivia and Margaret, I'm wondering if you guys would speak about the programs you guys started to connect people to more opportunities to play different sports. Is that okay?
Absolutely.
Do you go first?
Oh, sure. Like Miss Brieva was saying earlier, like the cost of sports is so high, and like I played a number of sports over the years, and I actually just during COVID, so at the beginning of COVID, I started playing golf.
Cool.
And so as a young female of color, there aren't too many people that my age and of my demographic that play golf. So as I started playing, and like there were fewer and fewer girls, period, but also kids of color that played golf, I saw that there was a need for kids in Evanston and across the country to play. So I started a program called Diversify Golf, in which
So cool.
yeah, in which I teach girls and kids of color to play golf completely free of charge. I supply everything, clubs, balls, and then myself and some of my friends and like teammates give their time to help coach. So no matter like the economic status you have, it's free for everyone. There's no like real scholarships. It's just completely free. So I've been working on that for like the past 6 months, I guess, and I've done one like month-long 6-week program so far.
How do you start something like that? I mean, what grade are you in?
I was about to say as a freshman. I'm a sophomore at ETHS, so I'm 15.
You're 15. You're a sophomore. How do you start this whole golf program where you're giving free, golf lessons and everything? You have all the equipment. How does this happen?
Yeah. Okay. So I have done other projects in the past. I've raised money for breast cancer research, and I've also been, like, throughout the pandemic, I did free hygiene kits for those in need in the Evanston community and, like, surrounding area. So with experience from those projects, it wasn't super hard for me, but I think that the main, like, the first, like, what we were talking about earlier with GPS is that, like, learning leadership skills through this program and other programs, and building confidence through things like this really helped me do that as well. And I've had support from everyone here in that project, so it's been nice to have that as well.
You do a lot more than most adults.
Thank you.
I can't wait to see what you do for the rest of your life, too. That's interesting.
So I also started a program called Volley for Change with two of my fellow peers, Meg Houseworth and Sheree Animashan, who currently goes to Niles West. Yes. What? Yes, she's also on the board, the youth board here for GPS. But Volley for Change is an initiative to help younger girls of color specifically. Like, it doesn't have to be, but, we want to try to get more diversity in sports, but we wanted to help them get a higher level training in volleyball, because in the sport there wasn't, like, I also am a woman of color, and so when I was on the volleyball team at ETHS, I didn't really notice a lot of diversity within the different teams, and so we wanted to help, like, try to resolve that a little bit, and so that's why we started our nonprofit. And it was like a summer camp last year, and we were working towards it in my junior year. So,
wow. So you focused on two different sports that are, did not have diversity: golf, volleyball.
yes.
And now, are you seeing more girls? Are you seeing more diversity of people who are signing up for these programs at ETHS? And also, I guess one question in general is, do you see just more girls participating in sports at ETHS now that you have this program going for so many years?
Yes, definitely the number of girls participating in sports at Evanston has grown over the years that Girls Play Sports has been in existence. The pandemic just had a huge impact on how many people were playing sports, and specifically people of color playing sports. So while I believe before the pandemic, I used to coach, I was the head volleyball coach at ETHS, and I just recently stepped down. One of the reasons being that I was cutting most of the players of color because they could always make the freshman team.
Yeah.
But as the the levels got more challenging, there weren't opportunities to play club sports that were reasonable, and like we talked about before with the time commitment and the amount that it costs, it is impossible. And so I just really want to focus my energy on creating more opportunities for people of color to play volleyball in the Evanston area.
And is that now you're committed more in terms of GPS or with other things that, to make that happen?
Actually, both.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, because of course I want kids to play multiple sports. That is, I just think that's fun. Yeah. You get to meet other kids. You get to try different things. It's just kind of fun. So.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's good to be able to have some variety of sports because you could play the same thing over and over and over again, and you could love it, but sometimes you can get bored of it too. So it's good to learn new skills. I mean, it's good for your mind and your soul.
Yes, just say one thing.
Sure.
I think sports, specifically in high school, are so necessary. I mean, like, you don't have to play a sport, but I just think when I was a freshman in high school, obviously it's a new place. Like, I didn't know a lot of people. I was a little nervous because I didn't have any connections formed with anybody. And I tried out for volleyball. I tried out for basketball. And I did try out for soccer. And I just met so many new people through playing those sports. And it's so, like, necessary to build connections and make friends and, like, learn with your fellow peers. So
Yeah, I mean, I played basketball when I was in high school, and it wasn't easy. And I wasn't the best player, but I think it's a life lesson to, like, learn that you got to play really hard. And even if you try really hard, you may not always get what you want in terms of playing time, or maybe you do. And it's, you get that achievement, but and then the practices and everything and running until you can barely breathe. I think it's not fun, but it gives you grit.
Yeah, I just wanted to add on to what both of you have now said, is that my freshman year, which of course was last year, I played 3 sports, and like Margaret was saying, like, going into high school, I, like, had friends from middle school and, like, sports previously and all that sort of stuff, and, like, the high school is so big, like, pretty much any person your age that you've met while living in Evanston goes to the high school, so it's just but it's crazy. But when you get there, like, I find that if you are in sports or in a club that meets consistently, that tends to be where, like, your closest friends come from, because like my parents and, like, adults that I talk to, they're always like, yeah, when you get to college, like, you just live with people and you have to see them every day, so they, like, you get close to them. And it's like that with sports, where they're 6 days a week, 2 hours a day, so, like, you may not like that person, but they will become close to you because you're with them. So
You have no choice.
and yeah, you don't, but you do, because I feel like by senior year, most classes are really close because of how much time they spend together. So it's so important. And it helps you, like, focus on getting your grades up too, because the high school puts such high standards for their student athletes. Student always comes first. So it really pushes you to do better in school as well, because you can't play sports without the grades. So
That's a good lesson. You hear that, Sophia? I think this is awesome. I mean, I think that you perfectly illustrate why this program is so great. And it's, you're building the early connections with people who like to play sports. So then once you get to the high school, you have a familiarity and you can go and try out, and then you build your social network that way. And that lasts a lifetime, really. Some of my closest friends are people who I played basketball with growing up, and, still we're good friends. So I think that's building that within, girls, where that may not have been so common, where you think, oh, like, girls shouldn't be playing sports or whatever the case may be. No, like, that it's changing the mentality, and I think it's wonderful. I know we've talked about a lot. I want to just ask, is there anything that I missed that any of you want to add in to talk about this program?
Olivia, is it true that you won an ESPY?
Sorry?
Did you win an ESPY?
Yes.
Would you like to mention that you won an ESPY?
Sure.
Thank you.
Wow.
I was talking about my program, Diversify Golf. I ran the program that I ran, that was the 6-week program, was at Fleetwood with some of their summer campers. So during I think it was our second week or third week of the program, I found out that I won an honorary ESPY from Chicago ESPN. The award that I won was given out in 5 cities across the country in honor of the 50th anniversary of Title IX. So it was given to girls that are not only playing sports but are passionate about getting more girls in sports. Chris Levatino, one of our founders and the current athletic director at ETHS, nominated me. So that's how I found out I won.
That's incredible. Oh my God.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Yeah, that's definitely something to add. Wow. Well, I think that everyone here is just a testament to this program. I'm so glad I got to feature y'all. If people want to learn more about GPS, where do they go? So go to the website. Okay, so if you want to learn more, it's teamgps.org. And I know, I've looked there. You have a lot of great information there to be able to sign up. And I just want to thank you all for coming in here today. This was so much fun.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. And so much fun to have my daughter, Sophia, here too.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And thanks, everyone, for listening.